Coach, 3 straight losses, last 2 blowouts. You said after the last game it was unacceptable. Just kind of what's the message to those guys after just another lopsided loss?
Yeah, I mean, very disappointing, embarrassed. Situation where we need to get it figured out.
Ironically, you started the game good tonight. The first few minutes, you're up 8-2. Good ball movement on offense. Mm-hmm. Then it just disappears. Any explanation what happened?
I mean, I think, a lot of it has to do with the fact that the ball's not going in the basket. And I think that that's starting to, trickle into other things. And unfortunately tonight, it was not just our execution like maybe in our last game, but also our effort and our energy and our enthusiasm. And that's, hasn't really ever happened. And so that's why it's very disappointing.
Coach Alston mentioned that these kind of losses, it's a wake-up call. And he said maybe that we're taken, not for granted, he said, but maybe this was the wake-up call and realize we have talent, but that's not enough to get the job done. Do you feel like maybe they're out there not really understanding what it takes to win at this level?
I mean, they understand what it takes. I think they're out there not doing what it takes. But I don't think you can say a team that started the year off 9-4 with some quality wins and, spent time top 100, and even the losses were a possession or 2 away. They don't understand what it takes to win. They clearly do. I'm not getting them to do what it takes to win. I think that's ultimately what Austin probably wanted to say.
Or do you go back to the St. Mary's game and watch what was working and try to, in some way, to go back to that point with the guys, rotations, lineups, etc.?
For sure. I mean, we go back to a lot of games. We watch all of our games, all of our situations. We study our team night and day. It's different ebbs and flows of a season, lifestyles, things happening here, there. There's so many more things than just the game, and for us, it's more than just the game right now. But yeah, we study our team extensively. I mean, we've got numbers and video and situations. I mean, more than you could probably even imagine. And that, not just that game, but we study a lot of games. And it's just very disappointing how we're playing right now.
Coach, what about the 3-ball? Like a lot of 3 balls last game, this game, the first half kind of felt like a 3-point contest. Was it just they were taking away the inside, or you guys had looks that just didn't go down?
They did a good job of taking some things away, but I think for the most part, we kind of settled for a good look. Now, if those things go in, it's a whole nother, conversation. But we need to put more of a focus on our 2-point distribution, which we had addressed that for a while there, but now we've gravitated back to the 3-point line, and so unfortunately for us, we're not making any, and so we definitely need to balance out our offense.
You see this team not putting in just some of the effort things throughout that first half. Do you still see this team together? Do you see them fighting together and everything you want to see?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they're together. I don't think that they're pointing any fingers or doing anything like that, but they're just together in some hard times, along with their coach and their coaching staff. We're all in it together. It's just not a good time for us right now.
What's the status for Damian Mayo?
He will be out again Saturday with a concussion. Yep, I think he'll play next Wednesday.
Coach, you haven't had back-to-back 20-plus losses games in 3 years. Does this feel like a significant low point?
It's a very hard time for our team. I'll stay away from trying to say low point, things like that. But it's a hard time. I mean, I think that it's very hard for our group. They obviously don't want to have back-to-back losses, especially in the manner in which we did on our home court. In a situation where we probably should have responded better from the last game. But, it's just a situation where we got to try to get out of it. But it's not a happy time at all. It's an extremely hard time.
Is there one thing, I know you mentioned a few things that really bothered you about this game, but is there one thing that bothers you the most?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. How poorly we played, our energy, our effort, and our enthusiasm. I mean, that's where everything starts, with college basketball. And as a coach, you want to have your team energized. You want to have their effort at a high level, and you want them to be enthused. And so, yeah, I'm very disappointed, in myself and in my inability to get that, the what we like to call the 3 E's.